Hello everyone, welcome back to our podcast. I am Wang Wen-da.
Hi, I'm Huang Yinor. Today we're going to talk about a topic that sounds serious, but it's actually very close to our daily lives. It's climate change.
Right, and the main question we want to discuss today is, why is climate change a global issue?
To be honest, before working on this project, I didn't really pay much attention to climate change.
Same here, I used to think it was something only scientists or governments needed to worry about.
Yeah, it felt far away, like something that would only affect people in the future.
But once we started researching, we realized climate change is already affecting our lives, like extreme heat, strange weather, and even rising food prices.
That's when we understood this isn't just one country's problem. It's a global issue that connects everyone.
So let's talk about the causes of climate change. There are natural causes, but today the biggest reason is clearly human activities.
The first major cause is burning fossil fuels, such as coal, oil, and gas.
We burn them for electricity, cars, planes, and factories, basically things we use every day.
When we do that, we release large amounts of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere.
This leads to the greenhouse effect.
Greenhouse gases trap heat from the sun and stop it from escaping into space.
I like to think of it as putting a thick blanket around the earth. At first it's comfortable, but soon it becomes too hot.
Another important cause is deforestation.
Trees absorb carbon dioxide, so when forests are cut down, more CO2 stays in the air.
That makes global warming happen even faster.
We also can't ignore agriculture and waste.
Right. Cows, rice farming, and landfills produce methane.
Methane is much stronger than carbon dioxide at trapping heat, so it has a serious impact on climate change.
So, what are the impacts of climate change? The first one is more extreme weather.
We are seeing stronger heat waves, heavier rainfall, longer droughts, and more powerful typhoons.
And these events are happening more frequently than before.
The second impact is rising sea levels.
Melting glaciers and polar ice cause sea levels to rise, which is dangerous for coastal cities and island nations.
Some areas may even become unlivable in the future.
Another major impact is ecosystem damage.
Animals lose their habitats, coral reefs to bleach, and many species face extinction.
Climate change also leads to food and water crisis.
Farming becomes harder, crops fail, and clean drinking water becomes scarce.
And finally, there are health and social issues.
People face higher risks of heat-related illnesses and infectious diseases.
At the same time, climate refugees and social inequality are increasing. Before we move to a conclusion, I think it's important to talk more deeply about why climate change is such a serious problem.
Yeah, because people hear the words climate change so often that they sometimes stop caring.
Exactly, it becomes just another buzzword.
But climate change is not only about the weather getting hotter.
It affects almost every system on Earth: nature, food, health, and even politics.
One thing that really surprised me during our research was how small temperature changes can cause huge effects.
Yeah, even a 1 or 2 degree increase in global temperature can lead to serious consequences.
Like ice melting faster, sea levels rising, and ecosystems collapsing.
And once these changes begin, they are very difficult to reverse.
That's why scientists keep warning our slayer time is running out.
Another important point is that climate change is already affecting our daily lives.
Definitely, hotter summers, higher electricity bills, and food become more expensive.
And when extreme weather happens, it often ordinary people who suffer the most.
Especially people in poor countries or places without strong infrastructure.
This is exactly why climate change is a global issue.
Pollution doesn't stop at national borders.
One country's emissions can affect the climate on the other side of the world.
And problems like rising sea levels and climate refugees affect international relations.
So, no country can solve the problem alone.
Another important issue is that climate change doesn't affect everyone equally.
That really stood out to me.
Countries that contribute the least to climate change often suffer the most.
For example, small island nations face rising sea levels even though they produce very little pollution.
That's why climate change is also a social justice issue.
So, why do some people still ignore climate change?
I think one reason is that its effects feel slow and invisible at first,
Others believe technology will solve everything.
and some people feel that one person's actions don't matter.
But when millions of people think that way, nothing changes.
As students, we might feel powerless, but I don't think that's true.
Yeah, we may not control governments or big companies, but we still have influence.
We can start by changing small habits like saving energy or reducing waste.
We can also talk about climate change and raise awareness.
Understanding the problem is always the first step toward solving it.
Through this project, I learned that climate change is not just a textbook topic.
It's something that's happening right now.
I also learned how to search for information and organize ideas.
And I learned many new English words related to climate change.
More importantly, this project changed how I see the world.
So, why is climate change a global issue?
Because it affects everyone, everywhere, and no country can escape it.
And no one can solve it alone.
We hope today's podcast helped you understand climate change more deeply.
And we hope it encourages you to care more about the planet we all share.
Thanks for listening. Thank you.
Thank you.